Hello Cancer, my name is Kristi. I am the Twisted Elemental. I'm coming to you today because we're going to do your reading for September 2023. It's like an energetic check-in for the month. We're going to see what energies you're going to be dealing with this month and working through this month. So let's get started, Cancer. I'm calling on Spirit and all my sacred guides to help me discern true and accurate messages for all Cancer placements today. I would like messages of the purest, highest, white light of truth and for the greater good of all. Thank you so much, Spirit. All right, for Cancer, September 2023, what are the energies they're going to be working with this month, please? Ooh. We have Dances on One Foot, Balancing Act. Card number 9. Get right here. Jeweled Web, Connectivity. Card 32. Dragon's Hoard, Protecting the Future, card 12. What do we have underneath here? Lost in Space, Needing Direction, card 36. So I want to say this is about the ending of a cycle for you, Cancer. I have 2 9s here. This 36 breaks down to a 9. 9s talk of endings of cycle. We have Dances on One Foot, Balancing Act, Lost in Space, Needing Direction. I'm going to say this balancing act is going to be about you, your life in particular. This could be outside influences, balancing that, and your inside influences. This could be balancing your emotions, balancing your work and play life, balancing your spiritual life with your practical life. I want to say this balancing act has to do with needing this lost in space, the needing of direction. Part of this needing of direction, I want to say, goes back to this connectivity, the web, the jeweled web here. This is 32. It breaks down to a 5. This is a card of change. Protecting the future, Dragon's Hoard here. This is about protecting the energy of your future. I want to say this connectivity, this web, this connectivity is really screaming to me an up-leveling consciousness. That's why this protection is being called upon. I want to say that this protection has to do with this balancing act and needing direction. I want to say this protection is about you protecting your energy here with this upgrade in consciousness. Like really clearing your energy, making sure you're grounded, making sure you're releasing any anxieties that you may be feeling. They might not be yours. It might just be the energy of this upgrade in connectivity here. This is like a consciousness upgrade. There is a need for direction here and balance in navigating through this here. Let's get some karma cards and see if we can get some more information, Cancer. Okay, for Cancer. Energy for September. What do they need to know? One more shuffle here. Oh, wow. We have Spread Your Wings, card number 2. Underneath that, I do have Love Abounds here. This is like a cracking open of the heart chakra. I want to say that Love Abounds, actually, if you want to see this green, it matches the energy of balancing on one foot. I want to say this balancing act has to do with your emotions and your heart. Get another card here for Cancer, please. Shares of Love. Again, another card about your heart chakra and that green. I like that we go from a card 2 to a 3 card that shows progression. Together, that's a 5. This is a change again, right? We had the 5 over here. Spread your wings, share the love. I want to say that this up-leveling in consciousness here, Spirit is asking you to spread your wings with that and learn to fly within it. But keeping in mind that you need to balance out your heart here, your emotions, and to protect your energy also within this space. But Spirit wants you to spread your wings and share love here. All right, let's get to the main spread, Cancer. What we're going to ask here is we're asking what the energy of September is for you, like in the 3D, what these actual situations look like that this energy is working through. We're going to ask what your lesson you're meant to learn from this situation. The lesson you're meant to see when you learn the lesson, the challenge you're meant to overcome, and the advice from Spirit. Cancer. Oh wow, the all over energy for this reading is the 7 of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card of deception. It's a card. It can also be a card of sneaking away from something. This person is traveling in the darkness, stealing all the swords away under the cover of darkness. I want to say, because this is the all over energy and we're asking about you, this is some form of self-deception that you've been living in. Could even be some story that you were told from childhood, that among situations that you lived through that gave you an impression of who you were. And it's not true. Yeah, there's secrets, right? I've got the moon underneath this. This moon, I want to say this moon depicts Hecate. It's the three-faced goddess, Mother Maiden Crone, and she's got her faithful dog with her. It speaks of loyalty. This is a card of using your intuition, of connecting to your higher self. Absolutely, very much divine feminine energy, but it is a card of secrets, things in the dark. And we're talking about this in the dark. I want to say you're using your intuition at this time with this higher level of consciousness that you've been gifted is what's going to help bring you through whatever this deception is. All right, give me some more. What is going on in September for Cancer, please? 6 of Swords. This came out for Gemini. In the same location. This is about moving on to calmer water. This is a sense of a rite of passage for you. What's the lesson meant to be learned here by Cancer? What the? You saw me shuffle the cards. This came out in the exact same spot for Cancer also. I'm sorry, for Gemini also. The Justice card. What is going on? Wow. This Justice is a card of truth. It makes sense. We're talking about, you could have a Cancer, you could have a lot of Gemini in your chart, or you could be dealing with Geminis. You could have like a Gemini moon sign, or you could be on the cusp. But we're talking about the lesson to learn here is bringing yourself justice, right? This is truth, balance, honesty, even wisdom from Spirit here. She has the owl sitting on her shoulder, which tells me this Lady Justice is very much, the truthful knowledge comes from the divine. This is the lesson to overcome, because we do have this sneaking off here. Something unjust is the overall energy. All right, Cancer. The blessing that you're meant to receive here. 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment. This is an emotional wish fulfillment here. Wow. What's the challenge Cancer's meant to overcome? The Fool. Taking an actual leap of faith, making good decisions for yourself going forward. Okay, the advice for Cancer, please. 8 of Wands. Speak your truth. Passionate forward movement. You might even be called to move. If that doesn't sound right to you, if like, oh, I've never heard that I need to move, then this advice is not, use your better judgment here. But the 8 of Wands is, communication and passionate forward movement. We have the dolphins here, which really speak to intuitive processes, especially among emotions here. We've got these stormy waters, but this ship is just plowing through it, moving forward. It's passionate forward movement, communication, driving your life forward. Possibly moving to a distance, maybe someplace overseas. Okay. Let's clarify here. Let's see. I don't always clarify the 7 of Swords, but I'm going to hear, the 7 of Swords. I don't always clarify the overall energy for the reading, but I'm going to specifically because it's the 7 of Swords. All right, tell me about the 7 of Swords for Cancer, please. The month of September. Strength in the reverse. 10 Swords. This is like you needing to have the strength and determination to overcome some deception, whether it's internal or not internal. If it was from another person, needing to cut that out. But if it's internal, this is you having the strength to overcome it. When strength shows up in the reading, for me, it comes in the major arcana after the Devil card, meaning there's some toxicity that needs to have strength to overcome. But this is weakness, right? Having weakness to some toxicity here. I have the 10 of Swords underneath, like this needs to come to an end. It's done, dead, over. It's old energy. All right. Tell me about the 6 of Swords, this rite of passage here in the month of September for Cancer. Death in the negative. This is an ending that needs to end. It's something that has an end that needs to end, right? Death in reverse is not letting something that's over go. It's like holding on to the remnants of something. And there is a massive need to move forward away from this ending. It has to end. And only way to bring this into the upright where the sun comes back up, that's the transformation after something has ended. You let it go, you heal from it, and you move forward to the new thing that's going to come. That's better than what was before. But by holding on to the ending of the previous, that blocks the new thing from coming, the transformation from happening. I also can't help but notice, again, I said this could be moving overseas. We have 2 cards of depicting boats moving through water right at the beginning of what's going on, and right at your advice for the whole thing. You literally could be being advised to move away from a situation physically that has ended for you. Yeah, I've got the Emperor on the bottom in the upright. That's beautiful energy. This is like you really driving your own life here, being in charge. The Emperor can be, a father figure. Does not have to be, but the Emperor's, in charge of their own life. They make really good decisions. They're a compassionate leader. They are a leader of people. Tell me more about this death in the negative, please. 5 Cups. This is 5 Cups in the positive, though. This is letting go of past hurts. That's metaphorically, this moving on to calmer water here is moving from the end of something you haven't been able to let go of, possibly because you've you have some false belief system here about it, right? Because allowing yourself to sail away from this ending allows you to recover. We have the Five of Cups in the negative here is about, replaying. It's about regrets of the past and living in the past. This is no longer doing that. This is seeing the silver lining in this situation that has ended. Yeah, and I have the World in the positive underneath that, which tells me this is how you start a new cycle, an up-level cycle. Ending the old, going towards the new. In a new frame of mind here. All right, let's find out what's this justice, this lesson that Cancer is meant to learn here. Libra energy here with the Justice card. I've also got Aries and Gemini with the Fool, Leo with the Strength, Scorpio with the Death, Pisces with the Moon. Say the Five of Cups is Scorpio also. I have the Three of Cups in the negative, Nine of Swords in the negative, and the Tower in the negative. Again, we see this, the Tower in the negative, like the Death in the negative. More Scorpio energy here of not letting the Tower crumble. In the upright, this is the Tower comes crashing down because it has to. It has a faulty foundation. So this is the card of transformation, Phoenix rising from the ashes. You let that old tower crumble so that you can get a good new foundation to build a new tower, right? This is not allowing the old tower to fall or not wanting it to, which it blocks your justice here. We have the Three of Cups. This could have been a third-party situation or a situation that people talked about. Other people could have gotten involved in your business here that really puts you in your head, because I also have this Nine of Swords here in the negative, which is sleepless nights, replaying conversations, really going through it, just massive anxiety here. This is about bringing yourself your own justice, and to bringing yourself your own justice, bringing yourself your own truth means dealing with whatever false narrative this may be, and bringing justice to yourself by allowing the tower to crumble, not listening to the rumors or to other people or to bad situations. Allowing this tower to crumble is going to be what makes this Nine of Swords be relieved here. The anxiety to be relieved. That is your truth and justice. Hold on one second. Cancer, I gotta grab my doggy. Okay, Cancer. This is... Now, I get why we have this protecting the future here. Because this is the Nine of Cups is your blessing to be received once this lessons were learned. This is what needs to be protected here, your wish fulfillment. Okay? But we have this lost in space and the balancing act. And I want to say the balancing act here is the balancing the old with the new, balancing of an old story maybe that doesn't serve you anymore for the new story. But whatever this story is that doesn't serve you, it really has you in your head. This lost in space, I want to say, this is it, like the anxiety. And I'm being called to let you know that anxiety, when we're experiencing anxiety, it is meant to be used as a tool to check yourself. If you are having anxiety, it's because you are not aligned with your higher self. Your higher self, and when I talk about your higher self, I'm talking about this connectivity, the jeweled web, the raising consciousness here. Not being connected to your higher self and being in line with your higher self causes anxiety, because your higher self can see everything and you have a very limited view of things in your 3D perspective. So what you're meant to do if you are experiencing anxiety is to ask yourself, Even say it out loud, Cancer. What am I not seeing here? And have it be a cue to you that the anxiety is there because you're not seeing something. That gives you the tools to then ask yourself what it is you're not seeing. And, Spirit's going to answer. If you're asking, hey, what am I not seeing? Spirit's going to answer, and it's going to allow you to relieve this anxiety. Because the clearer you are in your mind, the clearer you're going to be about going forward and protecting what you need to protect here. Be very clear about what direction you're meant to go here, what good choices you're meant to make. All right, tell me about this Nine of Cups, the blessing, please, for Cancer. The Seven of Pentacles in the negative with the Seven of Wands in the negative. This Seven of Pentacles here is a card of all over. It's a card of dissatisfaction. The Seven of Pentacles you're meant to. It's a card of divine timing, yes, but it's a card of bounty and prosperity. It's a card of assessing the efforts you put into things versus what you've gotten out of them. This person has assessed, and although they have all this bounty here, you can clearly see this person is very dissatisfied with what they have. Then we have this Seven of Wands here underneath, which is not standing up for yourself, not doing the right thing, not defending yourself. Takes me back to this balancing act and this protecting your future, right? And I already said what needs to be protected here is this. I want to say sevens are very important here. We have a lot of, I've got 777. For me, sevens are definitely a number of divine. Divine has their hands in this business somewhere. There's a need here to protect some wish fulfillment. Even if it's from yourself because you're feeling dissatisfied with it. I want to say, if you're feeling dissatisfied with a wish fulfillment, there's something untrue about that. It's something else. There's some narrative that comes from someplace else that's obscuring what this really is, Cancer. I have the High Priestess underneath that, and it's in the this High Priestess, I'm not going to say that there's one negative or one not, but this is in the light. This is like not holding on to secrets here. Very much needing to use your intuition here with about what it is you need to fight for, what you need to do to stand up for yourself. If you're dissatisfied with where you're at, Cancer, definitely stand up for yourself. You need to flip that around. I want to say there's some narrative that tells you you can't do that. Possibly that you're not worthy of doing that, or that you don't deserve this Nine of Cups. You do. It's your birthright, Cancer. You need to stand up and fight for it. If you're dissatisfied with where you're at, the only person that can fix that is you. Tell me about this challenge of taking this leap of faith here with the Fool. The Hanged Man, getting your new perspective. I said there was a new perspective needed. Oh, we have the 10 Pentacles in the negative here. 10 Pentacles. This depicts a a couple here. It's a family situation. They're still holding on to the pentacle, but it's very over. This is in the shadows here. This has come to an end. There's some family situation. This could have to do with your childhood. This could have to do with a previous partner. You know, take it how it resonates. But there is some family situation here that has given you a false narrative. The Hangman is like a timeout, right? I want to say that this Hangman, so the Hangman, you get put there by Spirit. I want to say that's part of the protecting your future. And the Balancing Act, you're being connected through this timeout. The Spirit puts you there until you're able to see the perspective that you need to see. Hence, get over the anxiety, right? What we already talked about, being able to connect to your higher self and see something for what it really is. Something about you taking a leap of faith, possibly even moving someplace. I really have a lot of energy about moving, and could even be a long distance here. Needing to get a new perspective on that. Not judging it based off what you know from your past. Definitely taking the lessons from the past and putting them to use, but not judging situations based on the past, because new cycles aren't going to be like the past. That's the point of new cycles. They're upgraded, they're better. You've learned the lesson, you can move forward. Tell me about the Fool and the Hangman here, please. The challenge for Cancer. I have the King of Pentacles on its side here with the Six of Swords on the side. Again, the King of Pentacles on the side. This is interesting. The King of Pentacles is, it's beautiful energy. I love the King of Pentacles. He's one of my favorite. Oh, this is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, the Knights are transitional energy. It's like moving towards transition. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow. But as you can see, he's holding the Ace of Pentacles here. It's very slow energy because the Knight of Pentacles is steadfast and determined and balanced and stable. He looks in every nook and cranny. He learns his lessons along the way. That's why he's a slow energy. Slow and steady always wins the race. But there's a need to do that. This is also a very trustworthy and loyal energy. But we still have the Six of Swords again, which is where we started up here, which is the moving on to calmer water. This is like you needing to take the action. You need to get the new perspective on taking this leap of faith. And then there's the issue of you deciding to take the action forward to move to the calmer water. As slow as it has to be, but doing it in a very stable manner. All right, let's find out about this Eight of Wands. Your advice, please, Cancer. This boat has a depiction of, I want to say, to me from here it looks like it's like the eye symbol. I want to say it's like the evil eye. This boat is, this movement forward is protected. I have 9 Pentacles in the negative. Queen of Swords in the negative. You're being asked to move away from anything that keeps you dependent. If this is a family situation, this could be like your childhood family. Or even if it's an old spouse situation or another partner, there's some sense here like you feel like you're dependent on that person for your well-being. That's a false narrative. It's not true. There's a need to become independent here and move away from things that keep you stuck in dependence upon others. We have underneath, I have the Queen of Swords in the negative, which means somebody who might speak negative words to you, or you could be having a negative self-talk about about you not being able to be independent, but there's a need here to set very firm boundaries with yourself and others. Usually with the truth, I have the Ace of Swords underneath that. There's a need for truth. First of all, truth to yourself. I mean, the hard part about when we have false narratives or lie to ourselves is that we then project those lies onto others, right? But it's not in a necessary malicious way, Cancer. It's because we have a false narrative first. We can't tell people the truth we don't even know about, right? So there's a need for clarity here, overcoming this, moving on from Crown of Waters, from whatever the situation is, whatever that Ten of Pentacles and the negative is. There's a false narrative and you feel like you can't be independent from it. You can. That's not true. You need to set very firm boundaries here. Boundaries for yourself based in truth. What else here for the Eight of Wands? You need to communicate your boundaries. You need to communicate your truth, and you need to move forward. Yeah, put an end to this. I have the Ten of Swords here in the upright. You need to move forward, fast forward, passionate movement towards the end of something. Something that has you feeling very stuck. And the way to do that is through setting very firm boundaries. Truthful boundaries. Cancer, I hope that was helpful. I'm going to ask if you can go ahead and give me a thumbs up on the video. It really does help the algorithm so I can continue putting this content out for you. I'm sending you so much light and love. I hope you have a fabulous September. Looks like it's going to be a little rocky, but I think the other side of it, you've got really good stuff here with this share the love. And protecting this future, you do have your wish fulfillment coming. So yeah, light and love. Love yourself first. Always, always, always. Thank you, Cancer.